Anonymous experts have found a method of exposed numerology to investigate internal mysteries, to be informed that her criminal trial was absolutely a setup. The song Clint Eastwood, by Gorillaz predicts an amazing story based on her very recent troubled case.
Finally, someone let me out of my cage. At the top of me is nothing cause I'm counting no A's. God couldn't be there.
That's right. The psychic among her who sees nothing but unlawful corruption in disguise. The Disability Residential Enterprise's psychological purpose had successfully enabled them to have professional gang stalking tactics to confine her in custody over a ridiculous rare restraining order conspiracy.
She hit my resident.
A footage that was captured during a conversation with the police dispatch was examined by the anonymous investigators. Thanks to the scientific study of forensic analysis, that the police enforcement doesn't have a clue how it works. Gee whiz. I would be surprised if the Santa Rosa police can challenge me with this case to prove why the victim should have been arrested in the first place. Of course, this science is proven to be too much work for our policing agency, is the reason why forensic science is not worth it these days. As viewers may see, this caregiver was lying while talking on the phone to police dispatch. They don't know that she's lying because they have not seen her visually to determine the case as bogus. Her body language tells in enough detail that she is lying and nervous while saying that the victim attacked her resident. The anonymous investigators have requested to have us reveal the suspect's identity for educational purposes for the Santa Rosa police to learn the detailed proof. Finally, her body language goes back to normal, which proves her feeling less stressed about lying, but at least she did the hard part.
Yay!
This caregiver should take a lie detector test and scare the authorities, with her wired eyes rolling back and forth. The challenge is, can she control those rolling eyes during the lie detector test? Don't end up scaring the authorities and they end up running out the room, like a chicken being murdered at the chicken factory. Oh. That's just ridiculous. The victim had been wrongfully arrested by the Santa Rosa police, who have not properly analyzed the situation as a conspiracy to hogwash the victim, just so this caregiver's resident can take over a 2-bedroom house to herself, which is very expensive. My goodness, how can she afford that? These 2 officers knew what they were doing and continued to arrest the victim on 2 counts of battery, in which the victim's so-called victim confessed on tape that the caretaker lied and it wasn't true.
Lied a little bit about what happened last night. She said that had grabbed my shirt. I never did that. It seems like she felt like she had to lie a little bit about what happened. And that's not okay.
Well, this was the most strongest and shocking case in media history, and this production is holding those and the officers accountable for not providing legal support for the victim to proceed a settlement trial against the Disability Residential Enterprise. A Santa Rosa officer recently got harassed by the victim, who was the one who wrongfully arrested her. She stated, "I know you really well, Mr. Officer. You wrongfully arrested me." She should have been awarded from the Sonoma courts, because our media has accurate evidence to prove this to be a conspiracy. This means that when the victim is on probation, other caregivers would stalk to violate the victim's probation. Wow! What a small world, not. There was a motive to risk an attempt to commit her in a state hospital over a bogus mental illness.
I'm going to psychologically have you removed to a state hospital, right now. I don't have a straitjacket on, permanently in a room by yourself with foam walls, with no windows.
Yet. Of course. Just use your life successes against your oldest daughter as a secondary accessory for psychiatric slavery, famously known as a rejected child in a cage, used for psychiatric experimentation. Also, use this motive to confiscate her belongings by an unlawful penalty law, just like that old judge that can't even talk and has been disqualified too many times in our house.
This is a complicated matter having to do with potential housing issues.
Well, if it was a confiscating issue, then why is your oldest daughter? I bet she wanted her things, but Robin Hood decided to come in and steal all her crap and gave it to the little boy down the lane, in Santa Rosa. I bet his name was Jordan, going to all the thrift stores around there. You know Jordan Chandler would never cross Robin Hood, because he lied through his false teeth. The moral of this punchline is a street called Robin Hood Lane, in Santa Rosa, California. With the connection of the selfish man, known from a 1993 case, Mr. Chandler, who took advantage of Michael Jackson's money, just to become famous in Bollywood, down on 4th Street, ha ha ha. So, what this tells me, is that forensic investigators say they don't believe in coincidences, but they do an excellent job generating identical connections leading to a smooth conspiracy.